What's up? Let me see if I can get this camera to zoom in a little bit better. There we go. All right, all right. What's happening? Another week, another dollar. I am live streaming from my office. It's Labor Day weekend. Let me get set up here. It's good to see everybody. You know, first things first, let's make sure that we are respectful to each other, have a little fun, chat about Mustangs, about the channel, about the stuff we do, stuff we like. Hang on a second here. But make it Instagram. What y'all do? How was your guys' Labor Day weekend? Give me 1 second here. Your computer went bad. You talking about A9L? Hang on 1 second. C3W1, it's a 93. Is that an auto computer? I think that's an auto computer. Can a 285 3518 fit on a Fox body rear? Happy Labor Day. Juvie, I don't know. I know my 315 3517 fits on the back, but it's tight. What's up, Mike? Wanted to start the stream. Started making some t-shirts on Teespring. I'm going to make this design too. We've also started a membership club, if you guys didn't notice that. But when we hit 10,000 merch, we're going to make a merch shelf, and I'm going to actually, do a lot of discounts on that stuff. And of course, we're going to do a lot of cool stuff. I mean, it's all new to me, so. I have a 275/18 on the back of mine, a little spaced. Yeah, you got to take the quad shocks off for sure. But had some pretty interesting stuff happen to me last week. We finished the bow spring video. I'll probably mention it again. I know a lot of people have been waiting for that video. And it's a pretty hot video. I got a pretty cool little thumbnail on it too. But you guys are going to enjoy it. There's a lot of good information in that. We didn't put any of the racing part of that video that we were going to do in that. So where we took it to the track. I'm going to say that for something else. What's up, Ryan? Hope everybody's doing good. Again, we're streaming here from the office. I actually I own the house in front of my shop, and I think what I'm going to do is Wi-Fi extend so I can do some of the live streaming in the shop. I think that would be pretty cool to be sitting around my Mustangs talking about live streaming or whatever, but I have really good internet here, and I would be afraid that the live stream would suck because the internet would be slow or whatever. So, what's up, Broken Tool? Anyways, made some progress on the white car. Got to the point to where my charge pipe don't fit because it was fit for the black car. So, give you a quick update. We'll talk about it as we go through the stream. Yep, I had to roll the rear fenders too, Frank. 315 3517s look amazing on the back. What's up, cousin Paul? But 315, man, it's a nice stance in the back of that car. I want to give a shout out to cousin Paul's wife, Sandy. She's the Smurf lady here. You'll see her in chat eventually. She's also my photographer. She's very professional. There she is. So PS Photography is their little small time picture taking, and she does a lot of our videos that I don't give her enough credit for. So she won the street division in the Grudge Night Racing last Wednesday, and she actually did really well. Little AOD, so Adrenocycle. There's your AODs, bro. I had to say it. Brother, I have an 89 4-cylinder and a 351. Can you give me some tips on the swap? Right now, I want to run in a bone stock. Oof. Okay, so I did do a video where the differences is. I don't know if you've seen it or not, Kingsman, but there's a lot of good information. Make sure you guys check out the comments, because there's a lot of my subscriber base that actually went through and made a lot of good comments and corrections or whatever. So that's the best advice I can give you, because that swap is not easy. Like, I thought taking a 351 and sticking it in a Fox body, oh, that's easy. No, it's not. It's not easy at all, because there's a lot of things that don't fit and there's a lot of things that aren't right. But yeah. But the white car, going back to what I was saying, and I'll keep as I talk to people in chat, I'll keep talking about what's going on with me. As the live streams, I'm getting a little better at it. Like I said, I want to go to a different location. I want to go to the shop, because I think the shop is a way better area to do a live stream in, because I could point at things, I could show you things, and we can I got a really long USB cord that I could take the camera and go show you some of the stuff that we're actually doing, which is really cool, which is really what you guys could really dig. What's up, Jake? So yeah. So white car's charge pipe is going to be a PETA. It was fit for the black car, but the black car had an opened area where that little plastic piece is you pop out next to your mass air meter. So I don't really want to cut that out like I did with the black car. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to modify that charge. It's going to hit the caster camber plate anyway, so we got to change it. We have 4 or 5 AODs, but we just don't run them. Well, Sandy does. Got some new wheels and tires. Remove the quad shocks, not wheel hops. What suspension will correct this? Control arms. Take your springs. Control arms probably be the first thing I did, Jake. Yes, Jeffrey, that's my full-time job. Fox Bodies is what I do for a living. And Paul in chat here, wherever it's at, he works with me. He's my cousin. Fully built AOD here, getting ready to swap T5 swap next for use. Cool, Grady. I got a couple good videos on that should help you out a lot. I'm gonna tell you what. I did that T5 swap video, and it was one of the worst videos that, as far as viewing is concerned, that ever came up. I listed. It hasn't even hit 1,000 views yet. But here's the nice thing about doing how-to videos is they're always going to be up there, and people are always going to find them. So if I ever quit doing this or whatever, I can at least have some of my shared knowledge. Me and Cousin Paul and Cousin Fred can at least have our shared knowledge on the internet to where people can actually reference it. So that's why we do it. Jake, honestly, you're getting a lot of wheel hop because of your bushings. It's because your control arms are whooped. So literally anything new, you can get, the better brand control arms you get, Jake, the better, your car's going to handle. Barry Reeves. Going to look at my factory rebuilt T5. Most common things I should look for. Never install what a good price for one would be. Like, if you telling me that you're going to look at a T5 and you're going to see if like it's a rebuild or something? I'm running BMR uppers and lowers to help me out a lot. Yep. On black car, you run a 26 or a 28. I run a 26 in the black car, and I run a 28 on the white car. And that was one of the determining factors of why we put the 410 in the white car. Because I knew that I didn't have the proper brakes on the black car yet, and I didn't have a clearance for a bigger tire. And I knew that motor's going to eat. So I would just be doing it a disservice by not putting that in the white car. Do you have to pull the motor on a Fox to change the oil pan? Yes. Unless you have a lift and a picker, you could take the motor and hold it up. You could drop the K-member. It's much easier. But you got to have a lift and a big picker. That's what I would do. What do you do to clearance the white car to get the 28s? Actually, if you have a GT, well, I had to put better springs in because I used to run like a coil cutout because the factory springs are like the best springs for me. I mean, I always had good luck with them. So I cut a coil out, 3/4 of a coil out just to set height or whatever. But I had to put different springs in the back to make sure it clearance the 28. I had to roll the fender lip. And actually, I had to clearance the GT bumpers. You know what I mean? So rear upper lower control arms is one of my next upgrades. Actually, we're doing upper lower control arms on Dad's car tomorrow. Cousin Paul and I were talking about what we're going to do on Labor Day, and we didn't want to just sit around and do work all day. So I said, well, let's come in and work on the white car, finish up the small stuff, and we'll probably bust out the old Lakewoods and put them on my dad's. What's good, Neo? What's going on, Webb? Did you finish the valve spring video? I did. It is locked and loaded with its thumbnail. It's already ready to release. That's for you, Jake. We did the valve spring install. We did the valve spring dyno, and it's a really good 10-minute video. And it doesn't specifically tell you how to do it, but obviously I go over that stuff, and it's kind of boring for most people, but it's not really boring. I mean, I'm getting to the point to where how-to videos really aren't my niche too much anymore because people just don't want to see it very much anymore. But I mean, I go out there and bust out a monster burnout video and it'll get like 1 million views, and that just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, lift and support the motor. Yeah. So I think we're going to try to sneak control arms in Dad's car tomorrow if we don't get too busy. And I think I'm going to change the motor mounts. People just want to see the dyno results. I know. Well, I didn't make the video, Jeff. I didn't make the video long. It's only like 9 minutes. So I talk about stuff for about 4 minutes. We talk about the transition, and then we talk about some of the stuff on the dyno. We made 2 or 3 hits. There's some results there. Boom, it's done. It's a good video. What area in Ohio are you from? I am in Northeast Ohio. I've done that too. Total pain. Oh, I'm looking forward to all of it. Thanks, Jeff. So what we're going to do this week, like I said, if we get the opportunity, which we should have no problem, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back to that mod. We're going to try to put control arms in Dad's car. Maybe mess with the motor mounts without having to mess too many things up. But if we don't get to it, I'm going to drill the EGR housing, and I'm going to put that nitrous jet back in there with that. I put 3 bottles of heat in windshield wiper, and I'm going to put that thing right past the throttle body. I don't even care. We're gonna try that wiper methanol thing again. But we should have the white car running here very soon. I like the if you're gonna change the oil pan gasket, run that blue, run the nice blue or the one-piece rubber. I've always had good luck with those. So yep. Cork ones suck. I just don't like them. In Ohio, race season ends usually around November. But I think we only have like 3 Wednesdays left where they race on Wednesdays. But I know at Dragway 42, I think they continue running in Wednesdays and Fridays. And I got like 3 tracks within an hour from me. And I like them all. They're all good tracks. For those who don't like technical info, just hit the fast forward button. It's all good. Like when I watch some of the other videos, like the stuff that Brutal puts out, Justin, 91LX, Donnie B, 50 Tussin. When I'm watching some of their channels while I'm working, I usually just watch the whole thing and just let it play. You know what I mean? So I just put it on my phone, set it over to the side, and just watch it. Barberton's about an hour from me. Can you explain the different levels of membership? The first level of membership is just kind of like supporting the channel. I think the second level gives you some merch discounts. I think the third level is going to have my own like live chat, and you know, I put some stuff in there. It shows you what they are, what the levels of membership were. So it's just basically to support the channel for the most part. But when we hit the merch shelf here soon, there'll be some pretty good discounts on like shirts and hats and sweaters and stuff like that. So like I said, I started making some t-shirts on Teespring, but I'm about to start this logo, like the logo on my t-shirt and that one is from my my intro, the vlogs intro, and I'm going to make this one too that I wear every day. So you see other YouTubes renting out tracks for private test and tune days. Any idea how much it costs in your area to rent? Okay. Track rental in our area is roughly about 20 or $2,000. And I think you can only have 20 people. So once you get up past 20 people, the thing of the matter is the insurance changes. Do you know what I'm saying? So once the insurance changes, then they have to charge them more. I think it goes up to like $4,500. Don't quote me on that price. But when we do our track rental once a year, it's usually about $1,800. You usually get about 10 or 15 of your friends. They each throw in $100. So what are you talking about? Tussin quit? You just stopped me dead in my tracks. What's up, Chris? He quit. I hope he's just taking a break if that's the case. I always watch Tussin's stuff. I don't care how long it is. Like I said, I just set my phone off to the side. I support all my channels that I watch. Mainly the Fox Body ones, but. So his last video said he's done? I didn't catch that last one. I know he had been talking about it. I hate to see him get burned out. He does the same stuff I do. I must have missed it. Eric Turner, what do you think of the Kenny Bell blowers? They're very hot. They are very heat soakish. So they do have a little bit of a heat problem. But you're talking about the root style, right? The old school ones? Nathan Tuck, GT40 heads intake, B-cam, 70 millimeter throttle body, NA. What size roller rocker and injector? 172s or 17s, the F3ZEs, and I would just run 19s. There's nothing wrong with 19s. If you ran 24s with a calibrated map, you'd probably get away with it. Got a trick flow kit from Summit and seen oil in the corners, so gonna change it. In the corners of what? Chris O, living the dream, bro. Getting the suspension ironed out on the coupe, ready for October Saturday testing tunes. Gonna have the towing service on speed. Send it, man. It's all about the tire. Does Cousin Paul have his own dedicated race car right now? No. Cousin Paul races Dad's car for the most part. When White Car comes out, he'll probably race that exclusively. And I'll get me and him more on videos. And I'd like to get Sandy's car, which is the Smurf TT. What does that say, Sandy? Smurf what? She's in the channel here. She's actually working on a Fox body right now. We started a whole nother shell. We should be vlogging it, which we will. But she's prepping a shell, so we're gonna paint it. We're not gonna tell you what we're gonna paint it yet, but we're gonna do a complete driveline swap into this shell because the shell we have now that she races right now is in pretty bad shape at this point. So it's time to move on. It's time to get into something real nice, something we're gonna enjoy, something we're gonna be able to. She's gonna race it every Wednesday and every Saturday when she gets an opportunity. And this girl. So I'm really happy for her, though. For those who didn't know, Sandy won the street division last Wednesday. I don't know. She went like 7 rounds or something like that and beat everybody. We had to change her dial in right at the end because it was getting tight. But she won herself a big trophy. And who said girls can't race? I was very proud of her. She was .04, .teen in reaction times. It was perfect. I was like, man, she's doing all right on like a 30-year-old tire. That's what I do, man. That's what I love to see. I love to see. I think their block is a stock bottom end, GT40 heads, GT40 intake, and hers is a speed density car as well. And it's an AOD, so she can dial it in pretty well. We just put tires on it last week, though. Yep. We just put tires on it last week. We put Mickey Thompson street drag radials. Hey, Neo, what's your favorite cylinder head for small block Ford? GT40 is my favorite head. My favorite aluminum head is the AFR 205. Depending on what block you got, I like the 185s too. I don't like the 165s. 6 rounds, never underestimate the underdog. That's right. You have E6 heads? Oh, those got like the heart-filled chambers. I have not ran Vic Juniors, but I know they're a decent head. Oh my Jesus. A non-HO cam? Why? Probably why the AOD still works. Probably. So, I'm trying to think, what else do we got going on? We got new dyno stuff. I don't know if I mentioned that last video. It's been a PETA. I'm not even going to say it. It's crazy. We've had Mustang dyno at our dyno like 10 times trying to make this thing right. The software is really nice. You'll see in the next video. Big TV. It's got a streaming ability. It's just, we've been having a hard time with the software, especially with Fox bodies for some reason with the RPM signal. Like we took Dad's car over there and we we were trying to calibrate the dynos a little bit more, but it's just terrible. It's getting better though. It's gotten better. It's just not. It's like the new software wants to push you to do OBD2, which, you know, we shouldn't have to be forced to do OBD2. But anyways, so what do you guys do for Labor Day? We are tomorrow going to be working on our cars. We're going to be putting LCAs in Dad's car. Installed a Walbro 255 in the 89. So did you do the wiring upgrade, Broken Tool? 6-piece forever, Jake. Don't do 1-piece, please. Are you going to try out the Holly Terminator? I'm going to try out a Holly, yes. But I don't know which one I'm going to do yet. We are on fire in California. Is it that hot out there? Apparently not. Broken Tool, you have an 89. Chris, pulled the front springs with no injury. There's actually a little tool that you can buy, Chris, that'll allow you to put the springs back in. Are you cutting springs out? Like a half a coil or a full coil or something? Because that's always a good stance. Like, that's probably one of the better stance you can do. A lot of people don't get that. Like, the factory Fox body springs aren't terrible springs. They're actually really good. If you want to lower your car, just cut coils out. Like, I think you cut a half a coil out of the front, like a full out of the rear. It's a good stance. I have a video. Here, I'll link it to you. Feed me. Feed the beast. Now, you will leave the stream if you click the link, but that's the wiring mod upgrade that I'm talking about, Broken Tool. 4-cylinder fronts, 1 coil out the V8 rears. That's right. Yeah, right-click on it, open a new tab. That's correct. It should go to it. Anyway. I did that video about a year ago. It's way too long. But I went through every detail of what I do for the most part to put a wiring upgrade in there. Do you think a 210 Pro Max shocker heads? I don't know anything about the Pro Max, to be honest with you. Aren't those the real cheaper ones, Steven? I think those are the more cost-effective ones. I don't know much about them yet. So what else we got going on? What winter mods are you guys looking for? Go ahead, Baron. You can ask about tuning. You gonna clearance the piston, the valve? Do you know if the Columbus Ford swap meet is still on? It is. As of right now, the Ford Columbus All Ford swap meet is still going on. Now, I actually vlogged that a year or so ago. A lot of good stuff a lot of good stuff there. I look forward to it every year. Me and cousin Paul usually go down and try to get Sandy to go with us too, because it's kind of a nice little weekend for them. So we all kind of hang out, go out to eat, have some fun, sell some car parts, buy some car parts, and just meet people. Meet people that have the same passion. You'd be surprised at who you meet at the swap meet. Yeah, so you and Joe can't come? So, what head gaskets do you run on your turbo motors? Felpro 9333 PT1s. They're the one step up from the cheap gaskets. I run head studs, and I make sure that my deck is flat, and I make sure my heads are flat. So I also, and I should make a little bit of a video about it, but I also do a whole bunch of copper spray. I do copper spray. I usually just focus around the cylinder where it's the cylinder seals. No big deal. Try to keep it away from your on 302s. The water jackets are in the front of the gasket, so keep the copper away from that. It'll get into your radiator. Mr. Barron, I had a muffler installed on my car and the piping was too much. Blah, blah, blah. After replacing the fried plugs, the correct ignition timing dropped my 3%. Why is that? Replacing the fried plugs, the correct ignition timing dropped by 3%. Who made the adjustment? The computer, or did you make the adjustment? So the muffler, I eliminated some pipe and it's working good again. Realized the engine's getting too much airflow and installed the stock filter back. Water jackets are they're in the front, not the rear, on the head gasket. I'm almost positive. It's been a while since I've installed it. I know that the Felpro 933 PT1s, they cover one of the ports in the back, just like all the other ones. What do you think of running FMU instead of upping injector size on blower setups? Eric, that's what I do in Dad's car. The FMU is running good with 19s, and we keep throwing mods. At it. So, I mean, it's liking it. It's still running a little bit lean, but it's only 6 or 7 pounds of boost. 6 pounds of boost. It'll be fine. Yeah, it's been a while since I put a head gasket on a Adrenal cycle. So I couldn't remember if it was the front or the rear. I knew one of the ports got covered. Some people don't know that the head gaskets, they only go on a certain way. So literally, especially the PT1s, you'll be kind of tricked because you'll flip it open and it'll say front. And then you lay it down. The other one you have to lay down face down because they make all the head gaskets the same, but it doesn't matter what side you put down. So some people will cover one side of their ports and not the other side, thinking they're putting the gasket on right, but it literally says front. So I think the passenger side has to be flipped face down, if I'm correct. But a lot, they just don't. By the way, it's Corolla hatchback. Check out the channel 8-second rev video. I got you. Is a stud girdle a waste of money on a stock bottom M302? Well, It's not a waste of money because it'll at least keep the parts from coming out of your motor when you blow it up. But it does help support if one cap or one part of the motor is taking a little more abuse than the other. It kind of lets a lot of it, kind of keeps one accountable for the other. But a lot of the blocks in 302, at least from my experience, have always cracked like at number 2. And it's usually cracks where the blind hole is. And that's when it starts letting loose. So if you were to get an issue with your block, long story short, a girdle would save you from having to do a big, bad, messy cleanup. Water goes from the pump to the cylinders all the way to the back. Girdle keeps the caps from walking. That's 2. That's kind of what I was trying to say. But how much power can a T5 handle? I'm thinking about selling it before I break it. T5s, I mean, we've made 500 crank plus in Project Hot Wheels, and me and Cousin Paul drove the snot out of that car for half a year, never broke it. What's up, White Dragon? Never broke it. It's all kind of how you drive it, Randy's. It's all kind of how you drive it. If you respect the fact it's going to break, if you get on it too much, it's going to break. So if you can sell it and it's a good one, then you should be able to get enough money gathered to where, you know, you can buy a 3550. But 3550, they don't come around very often. So at least T5s you can get pretty easy, whereas a Tremec 3550, 500, 600, you know, you got to pay a lot of money for them. They don't come around very often in good used shape for obvious reasons, because they're good transmissions. Could installing the head gasket wrong cause? Yes. All day long and twice on Sunday. I don't know about that. Putting an M22 in? I think my buddy put one in, and he likes it. Top loaders too. Top loaders are strong. Old school top loaders. You talking to me, Baron? My favorite engine? $727, bro. I haven't heard that transmission in a long time. Woo. My favorite engine, Baron, would be a stock 302 block with a small little turbo. But I'm pretty prone to 5.9 Cummins diesels. I like me some Cummins motors. Even though I drive a new Power Stroke, I like the old school 5.9s. What do you think about a TKO 600 with the new gear ratio? Okay, so what size is the tire? What size is the tire? And you're talking about, I think the TKO is a 297. 297 first, and what rear gear is in it? When is the Terminator race? Are you talking about me and Watts, Danny Watts, Rusted 5.0? I think Danny Watts fried his clutch, so very soon. I'm coming for that front plate before the snow falls. Let that be said. I mean, in good fun. Danny Watts is a good friend of mine, and we respect the love for for these cars. So it's going to be enjoyable. I always respect him. What's up, Flying Wrench? Adventure Life, ever run a hydraulic throw-out bearing on a Fox? No, but it's convenient. I've never ran it, though. I'm thinking about running some sort of slipper clutch soon. You guys think it would be cooler to live stream in the shop? I mean, I'm only doing it here because I have good internet and I don't want to lose. Like, if the stream sucks, then it's going to be buffering and it won't be right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to buy a Wi-Fi extender because I'm about 200 feet from the house that lives in front of my shop, which is where I have my parents at. So I think I'm about doing a Wi-Fi extender. So not only can we run Wi-Fi and playlists all day in the shop, but I'll be able to live stream from the shop. So that's my next move. I mean, whatever's going on in the background's going on. So it'd be like, car parts flying everywhere. I mean, I'm only doing this here because this is like, I'm trying to live stream every week. Some weeks I can't get to it. But, if it was in the shop, it'd be a little bit, it's kind of different. You know what I mean? This is just a little office. So I'm curious, like I know I'm doing the stock bottom end things with Dad's car, but I'm super curious what it's going to do when I put rockers on it. And when I put it, I'm going to need to change the lifters soon. Because I'm pretty sure I remember hearing a tick in my lifters a while ago. So I'm thinking we're just going to go ahead and just bite the bullet and change to a GT40 intake. Now it's still a stock block. I mean, what do you guys think? I'm thinking of getting one 17-inch wheel tires. I'm talking about the ones in the rear. Okay. .65 Okay. What's the best Fox brake upgrade for the money? Rotors. Now, just buy a good set of front rotors. For now. I've went 9s on stock brakes and there's nothing wrong with it. Good set of front rotors. If you're going to do a brake upgrade, do the SN95 upgrade. If I'm not mistaken, isn't 400 horsepower around the limit of a stock replacement clutch fan can handle? Yeah, I mean, Eric Turner, don't even mess with that stock blade. That's not only a drag on your motor, but do the contour fan. Me and my dad, my dad's car, I got one of the 2 contour fans running right now. It doesn't even get hot. Ask Cousin Paul. It doesn't even get hot. Do yourself a favor, wire up a relay, run a contour fan, and get rid of that blade. Eric Melton, keep the stock intake, throw some lifters in it, and see what the old blower can do. I mean, I'm thinking the lifter's got a little bit of a tick in it, but I'd really like to do mods like the GT40 intake, because I'm gonna have the intake off anyways, and I'm like the long tube headers, just basic real mods that most people do. That's the only reason why we're doing what we do with Dad's car. So, yeah, what Adrenaline Cycle's saying. What are you ice cold about, Cousin Paul? What's wrong with you? You mad because it's 65 degrees in the old house here? So, yeah, maybe I can get tailpipes or dumps for a Fox Turbo. Tailpipes with straight pipes. But I'm going to warn you, that comes with a warning. Go check out Bruno's video. It sounds like a 1979 truck. Not going to lie to you. Sorry, should have been more specific. The 400 horsepower limit referring to the transmission and clutch. No, that's not true. There's no limit there. Sort of. Depends on what clutch you're running. You talking about the T5? Flying wrench. You're running quarter horse and binary software. Would I need anything else to program my Fox body NA 10.5? What would you need to program your Fox body for? If you're running NA, E303, and GT40. It doesn't need a tune. Make sure you run 19s. It'll scream. We went 1270s on a full weight GT car in one of my videos. The blue and silver two-tone GT. Yeah, there you go. It does stay cold. It doesn't get hot at all with one contour fan. You don't even need them both. The clutch would have to be upgraded. I definitely would upgrade the clutch turner. But I got an AutoZone disc in my dad's Fox body with the blower, and it's holding up just fine. We put it in front of a Spec 2 Plus pressure plate, and it's just eating. It loves it. It's eating. It holds just fine. So I think, what do y'all think about lower control arms? You think I'm going to be able to cut a little better 60 foot? Dad's car's got old beat up LCAs in it, man. Those are 30 years old. Shoot. Contour fans 96 to 01, and it came in a Mercury Mystique as well. 2.4 Duratec motor. Boom. I beat Adrenocycle to that one. What's up? Anyways, you want to try to get the contour fans that came in the contours and the Mercury Mystiques that were V6s. They were the better fan. I think those were a 2-speed, if I'm not mistaken. But like I said, you really only need to hook up one. Not yet. I think we're going to try to sneak, depending on how long it takes us to get the control arms out, I think we're going to try to sneak, at least drill them in. At least I'm going to try to put it in, and I think just at least get the 4 screws in for the lower. Oh, you run the big 18-inch blade. I think if you do the, now I run the contour fan without doing the 3G upgrade too, which if you only run one contour fan, it's not that bad. It doesn't really bear down too much. Non-adjustable. They're just, I got an old school set of Lakewoods, and I got a set of aftermarket Jegs ones. They got nice polys in them, so they're going to be nice and tight. Saline. But you want factory fans, not the cheap Dorman copies. That's correct. My Dorman fans suck. The plastic frame is weak and they flex. That's correct. Like, that's one of the #1 mods you should do to your Fox body. It is for sure. It is upgrading the cooling system. Get rid of that fan, and it gets rid of a bunch of drag. They're terrible. Now, yeah, don't sand the headlights. Like I said with the electric fans, I only run one contour on Dad's fan, so the alternator seems to run it just fine. Anyways, going back to what I was saying with Dad's LCAs, pretty sure, I think the best 60-foot I ever cut in that car was like a 154, 1549. It was like a 155. If I could cut a 150 or a 149, man, I could be tickling the 11s here. Get that car out of a hole. So what do you guys, 96 to 01, Randy? Did you guys work on your Fox bodies for this weekend? Or did you just hang out Labor Day? Yeah, sand and buff your headlights. It's a good idea. We're going to replace the uppers too, Broken Tool. I'm just saying. You guys see Justin 91 LX's coupe? He's making pretty good progress on that. Yeah, the lower ones will take the abuse. 114 here. How does that? Jeez, oh Pete, it's 114 degrees. Man, I'll be walking around in like boxers all day. Woo. White Dragon, if you live where it's real hot, you have to have both and you barely keep cool. It's true. It was 114 heat index a few days ago here. Wow. Yeah, I guess that makes a good point. So it depends on where you live with the alternator upgrade. You need to do the alternator upgrade if you're going to put contour fans in. It should like be a package thing that you do together. It probably make for a great video. Probably would make for a great video. Are both your upper and lower LCAs non-adjustable? That's correct, Turner. If it's over 100 every day. Yeah, 2 hours of building a retainer wall, and I was done. Maxima Motorsports says replace uppers with stock Ford units to stop the uppers from binding. Would like to get a little more horsepower with a tune with the quarter horse. Does the A9L have limitations with mods? No. We're about to make 1,000 crank power with an A9L and quarter horse. People say they can't be done. Some people think it can't be done. We'll see. And we're going to push it. What tires do you like to run on the street on your Turbo Foxes? 275, 4017 street drag radials. See, I have like a set of wheels that I drive around on that I'll blow off in no time. That, car show stuff that's nice, stuff I don't beat the crap out of. And then, of course, I got my drag slicks. And I even actually have a two set of rears that are dot radials in case I do a dot radial race. Like the white car's got like 3 sets of wheels. So they're all the same fronts. The racing wheels are. I just changed the rears. One's got slick and the other one's got a dot radial like a QuickTime Pro. What's your opinion on Team Z tubular front end and the most street driven? It's a good setup. I have never actually driven a Team Z, but I'm gonna look into their stuff because I think they have the Coyote swap stuff, don't they? That's correct. The one thing I didn't like about my QA1 in my white car versus my UPR in my black car is I didn't like the way the bars came up. My downpipe is like literally hitting where it bolts up to the Fox body. So it's one of my biggest problems I'm having right now with my white car is fitting that stupid downpipe. I'm literally about to take one of my other cow hoods, cut a big hole in it, and run a stupid elbow out the hood like a freaking diesel truck. Here he is. Side exit. Okay, well, one of the problems I'm having right now, Justin, is I would just take it out the turbo because it's a driver passenger side, is I would just take it out and curve it and go right there where the thermoculator like plugs used to be, where the mass air comes out at. But my fuel pressure regulator is right there. How come you didn't come to the Ford Frenzy at Pacemaker's Dragway Park? Probably didn't have enough time. Man, I coach football too, boys. We race. We mess with Fox bodies all day. And then in the evening, I'll be coaching some football with these, with my son. I'm trying to make all this stuff. 2020 is a tough year because it's just so many things going on and so many people. It's just. Thermoculators. That's right. That's right. I hate saying it the right. I hate saying those things. What's the difference in aluminum drive shaft? It's just a better drive shaft. It's stronger. It's lighter. You have a spare set of turbines with 10 holes for sale? Man, I got so many of those, Chris. Ultiminator. What engine temperature management? What's engine temperature management like with turbo setup? What do you mean? Cummins. I got 10 holes running out the. Yeah, me too. Edelbrock. You spelled it wrong. You're welcome, Mo. I'm not done with it, but that's pretty much the gist of it. I got a third video to put out. I've seen diesels in like the SN95s, man. They're fast. But that's a crazy swap, man. That's a crazy swap. What's worse? I mean, I don't like non-Ford motors. Now, if you put a Power Stroke in an SN95, that would be kind of cool. Or a Fox body. I don't think a Fox body could hold it, man. It's too much weight. It's too big. I know. I mean, you would have to run some serious springs. I bet you could probably run Corvette springs in the front of a coupe. Put the Corvette, yeah. Convertible. I bet you could probably put convertible springs in the front of a coupe and drop a Power Stroke down in it. Maximum is more geared towards road racing. That's true. How much horsepower, Patrick? How much horsepower can you have before needing a roll cage? Okay, check it out. When I put a cage in my car, Patrick, my car went faster. Same power. We were making like 520 wheel, GT40 stock bottom end, black car. And I was running 1090s, 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 1080s, 1090s. I put a cage in there and I was thinking to myself, this is going to make me go slower because it's like 150 pounds or whatever. When I tightened my car up with the cage, it went faster. So if that gives you any sort of recollection, if you're trying to put a roll cage in your car, do it. It's good for the suspension and the flex and all that stuff. So as far as going from A to B, it's going to pick it up. It's based on ET you run at the track. What does it take? What does it take to make 900 wheel in a Fox? A lot of money. Does the car vibrate more with a cage? No. But there's a lot of things that go into vibration of a car. Your polys in both your front and your rear suspension, running how tight it is. You know, the subframes, if you got subframes in it or not. I mean, roll cage just tightens everything else up, but a lot of people don't like to do that. They don't like the roll cage running through their interior or whatever. Yeah, I think it's 1150. You got to have a hoop, and like 1090s, you got to have a 6-point or something. I don't know. About 350,000. How's that coupe bill coming, Justin? I see you in here. I'd like to get brutal in here sometime. Donnie B, he was coming in for a little bit. I always like to bring other big, other channels. You're staring at it. Are you like imagining it be done? Justin Bird, around North Carolina, you can't run streetcar classes if you have a cage. Really? Wow. Why would they eliminate that? Just painted the engine bay. What'd you paint it? Black? Tell me you painted it semi-gloss. Dumbest thing I've seen in a long time. Yeah. You talking about Justin Bird? You talking about the cage? Yeah. Because true street cars, some of those cars are smoking fast. So like if you wreck it, it's don't even get me started. Like the only time that it shouldn't have to matter is in a car that you don't want to modify. Like I know there's like an exemption up here in Ohio, like some of the tech for like demons and like Terminators. Like if they're like a classic collector car, something about getting away with not having a cage in their car. Does that make sense? But it's a safety thing. Why would you not want that? Semi-gloss is the only way. Mate black, mate. You better leave me alone, Sandy, or you're going into timeout. Smurfit is Cousin Paul's wife, Sandy. She does a lot of our video with us. So she's over here talking all kind of crap about my AMC Green. Patrick, I love your work on your channel. Too bad no spring swap meet, though. I know. But I just got an email the other day that the fall one's still on for now. Yeah, I just had to order 5-point harnesses for the white car. Broken tool. Celine, cars newer than 2002 or 2010 need cages at 10 and a half, or according to NHRA. They can go faster than older cars because of the right. Okay. Patrick Kennedy, do you think you'll have another turbo kit for sale there? I'm set up for turbo, but I just don't want it. I don't have the kit. Honestly, like I said, I'm a dealer with On3 Turbo, and they don't pay me to advertise, but their kits are pretty bolt-on ready. You know what I mean? And they've done a lot since I've been messing with them. So I wouldn't think twice to order a kit, Patrick. Justin, gonna put a 6-point in the coupe and a 6-point in my hatch. Okay, you had a 6-point in your hatch. Yeah. That's all you need. Tightens up the back. My 88 truck got in a wreck and the seatbelt ripped. Replaced those seats. Why do 4-point harnesses expire, but stock seatbelts that are old or shit are still okay? It's probably because they're factory. I really can't answer that question. That's a good question. What'd you do, QMC? So I can't wait. Listen, this week we're going to be doing the valve spring videos coming out. I don't know if I'm doing it tomorrow or Friday. So make sure you guys click the F out of that. Obviously, I'll have something for you on Wednesday. What do you guys want to see? I mean, I do those Easter egg videos at the track. I got my friends. Listen, if I was a GM guy, I would be all about a G-body. I don't know how you guys feel, but I would be a Grand National guy. And some of my friends that I race with at the track, they have their own little crew of Grand Nationals. And I would definitely like to bring them, show you guys what they do at the track as some Easter egg videos. But I don't want nobody to be getting mad at me. You sub already. Grand National, I'm a big fan of Grand Nationals. I'm never going to switch from a Fox body because that's my first love forever. Got my power hooked up, got my belt, my pan tap. Patrick Kennedy, NA 347, 87 octane, 19 years old, 8.0 at 8th as a daily driver. I think that's impressive, to be honest. It's not terrible. Yeah, no doubt, Eric. If Darth Vader had a car, it would be a Grand National. I work on Mopar, so it's cool stuff for people to work. Justin Bird, if you don't like the Grand National, then you aren't an American. That's what I'm saying. Like, Grand Nationals were sick. Like, that's like the only GM I like from that era. Like, I used to have an IROC. Are you serious? Then how do you know I'm live streaming? Anyways, I used to drive IROC, and I'm going to be honest with you, I was a Camaro guy. But honestly, I got beat by a Fox body back in the early 90s, and that was it. Like, I'm like, the Camaros were terrible about putting dual exhaust on. They had a 7.5 rear end, and none of them really came stick shift. They were all like non-world class stick shift cars. They were terrible. And they had the 305 in it. And then you look at a Fox body that was like 500, 600 pounds lighter, came factory dual exhaust and lots of stick. It's just a better car. I fell in love with Fox bodies then. It was over. IROC is the only Camaro I like. Now I get it, man. I got to have my mullet going. If I had hair, I'd have a mullet, right? Rocco had an 86. Dude, there's a whole group of Grand Nationals that race with me at Thompson. Super, super appreciative of their cars. And I want to put them on the channel just to do some Easter egg stuff, so guys check it out. I mean, they're fast. One of them's got a 5.0 sticker in the back. My buddy Ricky. Y'all going to have to see this. Fox Bodies and Flowmasters. That's it, man. Fox Bodies and Flowmasters. That's a good one. That's a good video, bro. Yeah, the 305s. The turn point injection was not very good at all.